Okay, we're back for quiz 42, and just to get rid of some of the scores from last week, Colin and Brian had a 20, Jerry Smith 21, John and Dawn had a 24, Josie and Bill a 24, Stephen Rita had a 26. Top of the pops last week was Billy and Margaret with 27, 1 point in the lead. Right, we're going to go on to round one. What was Henry Fonda's last film for which he won an Oscar? What was Henry Fonda's last film for which he won an Oscar? Okay, number two. Which film was the first all-colour movie to win Best Picture award? That's the Oscar. Okay, so which film was the first all-colour movie to win Best Picture award at the Oscars? Number three, which actress won an Oscar for her performance in Misery? Okay, which actress won an Oscar for her performance in Misery? And number four, James Stewart won his only Best Actor Oscar for which classic film? Okay, so James Stewart won his only Best Actor Oscar for which classic film? Okay, we're jumping off the movies here. What date did the 30 Years' War start? I'm going to give you 25 years either way. So what year did the 30 Years' War start? 25, giving you that's 50 years you've got either side there. 25 each side. Number six, in which board game would you associate Rich Uncle Pennybags? Is that right? Pennybags or moneybags? Hope I wrote this down right. Pennybags or moneybags? Must be pennybags. And which board game would you associate Rich Uncle Pennybags? Number seven. The merger of Norwich Union and CGU in 1988 led to which insurance group? Okay, the merger of Norwich Union and CGU in 1998 led to which insurance group? So they merged together and changed their name to what? And number eight, what was the name of former Prime Minister Edward Heath's yacht? Okay, what was it? The name of former Prime Minister Edward Heath's yacht? Okay, I'm going to go over some of them again and I'm going to give you the answers out. Number one, what was Henry Fonda's last film for which he won an Oscar? On Golden Pond. Which film was the first all-colour music to win a Best Picture award? Gone with the Wind. And which actress won an Oscar for her performance in Misery? Kathy Bates. And James Stewart won his only Best Actor Oscar for which classic film? Wasn't the wee Christmassy one? It was the Philadelphia Story. It's one I haven't seen. The Philadelphia Story. And what date did the 30 Years' War start? I'm going to give it 25 years either way. So if the answer was 1618. So if you've put anything between 1593 and 1643, give yourselves a point. Okay, anything between 1593 and 1643, give yourselves a point. And which board game would you associate Rich Uncle Pennybags? Monopoly. See mum with a top hat and a monocle on it. What is it? And the merger of Norwich Union and CGU led to which insurance giant? Aviva. And what was the name of former Prime Minister's Edwin Heath's yacht? Gypsy Moth. No, it wasn't. See Billy Graham all throwing the chalk at the board. It's Morning Cloud. Right, all them scores up. We're going to go into round two. What was the password that Alibaba used to open the cave door? Okay, what was the password Alibaba used to open the cave door? Number two, What was the name of the butler that was accused of stealing some of Princess Diana's belongings? What was the name of the butler accused of stealing some of Princess Diana's belongings? Okay, who wrote the book Midnight's Children? I think it won one of them Booker prizes, didn't it? The Booker prize. Midnight's Children. Who wrote it? Okay, pearly kings and queens are associated with which London borough? Okay, pearly kings and queens are associated with which London borough? Trying to go through these quickly today to get on the connections here in 89 FM. How is varicella better known? Varicella. It's a wee tough one. Bill might get this. Josie and Bill might get this one, or maybe Billy will get it. The Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain. The Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain is incorrectly better known as what? Okay, the Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain is incorrectly better known as what? Number 7. What is the largest city in Nigeria? And the last one, if you can remember this, back to, what was it, 2000, was it? Yeah. What was the name of the Russian sub that sank in the Barents Sea in 2000, year 2000, killing all 118 people on board? Okay, what was the name of the Russian sub that sank in the Barents Sea in 2000, year 2000, killing all 118 crew on board? Okay, I want to go back on some of them there, and I'm going to give you the answers to round 2. What was the password that Alibaba used to open the cave door? Open sesame. What was the name of the butler that was accused of stealing some of Princess Diana's belongings? Paul Burrell. Who wrote the book Midnight's Children? Salman Rushdie. Pearly kings and queens are associated with which London borough? Lambeth. How is varicella better known? The chicken pox. The Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain is incorrectly better known as what? It's Eros in Piccadilly Circus, because it's not actually Eros in the statue, it's Eros's twin brother, Anteros, Anteros, Anteros. It's Eros's twin brother, and it's the real name is the Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain. Okay, what's the largest city in Nigeria? Has a population of 9 million, over 9 million. It's Lagos. And what was the name of the Russian sub that sank in the Barents Sea in 2000, killing all 118 on board? It was a K141 Kursk. Okay, it's a K141 Kursk. So read Kursk, you'll give yourselves a point. Okay, we're going on to round 3. Right. Some, not all music, but some. Who sang Emotions? The song Emotions. Now the Bee Gees were, I actually thought it was Emotions, because it was the Bee Gees, but it's built under somebody else. Who sang Emotions with the Bee Gees in the background? You hear the Bee Gees singing as well, but it's not under the Bee Gees. It's somebody. Who was it? What does Renaissance mean in French? No, the artist, the Renaissance period, no, the Renaissance. What does Renaissance mean? Okay, Karen Elaine Johnson is the real name of which actress? Karen, that's C-A-R-Y-N. C-A-R-Y-N. Karen Elaine Johnson is the real name of which actress? Number 4, who is the only person in the UK allowed to drive without a licence? Who's the only person in the UK allowed to drive without a licence? Number 5, who was the actress who was lost in translation with Bill Murray in 2007? Who was the actress who was lost in transition with Bill Murray in 2007? Number 6. What was the first Kentucky Fried Chicken? Which state was the first Kentucky Fried Chicken? That was KFC, opened in 1930. Okay, so which state was the first Kentucky Fried Chicken opened in 1930? Number 7. Which animal represents a zoo on an ordnance survey map? Which animal represents a zoo in an ordnance survey map? And the last one in this round. Which singer was backed by the Dakotas? Which singer was backed by the Dakotas? Okay, I'm going to give you the answers, so we're going to go back on some of them. Okay, here's the answers. Who sang Emotions with the Bee Gees? The background, Bee Gees in the background group. Samantha sang. Okay, you call her Samantha sang. And number 2, what does Renaissance mean in French? Rebirth. Karen Elaine Johnson, his real name is Whoopi Goldberg. She's known better as Whoopi Goldberg. Who is the only person in the UK allowed to drive without a licence? The Queen. And who was the actress who was lost in transition with Bill Murray? Scarlett Johansson. And which state was the first Kentucky Fried Chicken opened in 1930? Kentucky. Number 7, which animal represents a zoo on an ordnance survey map? An elephant. And which singer was backed by the Dakotas? Billy J. Kramer. Billy J. Kramer. I'll them scores up and total them up and see how you're going. Hopefully I'll be about 15, around the 15 mark. 16, you're going well. Right, this here round, I know Josie and Bill will know what it is, and I think Stevie may. Billy will know what it is because he was in the Glen Emlyn team. This is called the snake round, Billy calls it. I'm going to give you the first question. And you see what the last letter of the answer? That will be the start. That will be the start of your answer to next question. Okay? So every answer you have, the last letter will be the start of your answer for the next question. Okay? So if I ask you, like Union Jack was red, white, and you were blue, question 2, the answer will begin with E, if you know what I mean. Right, number 1. Who was Henry VIII's first wife? I want their full title. Okay, I'm looking for the full title, not just their name. Who was Henry VIII's first wife? Number 2, she was associated with King Charles II, and Samuel Pepys praised her as one of the finest actresses of the English stage. Who was she? She was associated with King Charles II, and Samuel Pepys praised her as one of the finest actresses of the English stage. Who was she? Number 3, what's the term in French? I think it's in French. It's another name for a nickname or a pen name. What name in French is another name for a nickname or a pen name? Okay, here's a wee one that was back in the past here, a wee true life thing. I think it was a movie about it. I think I've seen it. I'm not sure I've seen it. It's good. What was the name of the American energy company based in Houston, Texas? Shares at their peak were $90.75, and they end up being 26 cents due to fraud and fake accounts, and leading to the company to be bankrupt, losing all its shareholders $74 billion. It was one of the biggest frauds ever. I think it said it was, they were allowed to, instead of the actual profits, they were allowed to say what they thought the actual profit would be, and they were based on actual profits, and people were doing fake things and all, and they were caught on, and they lost 74 billion. It was one of the biggest losses in the history of the finance. 74 billion. It was a company. Okay, number 5. The BBC banned 2 of Enid Blyton's books, who dismissed her as a second rater. I think it said they were banned for 30 years. They were banned for racism. The Famous 5 books was one of them. What was the other book? Okay, the BBC banned 2 of Enid Blyton's books. It's a series of books. They dismissed her as a second rater, and they were banned for racism. The Famous 5 was one of them, the books. What was the second book that that was banned of hers? Don't forget, you're doing this wee snake system. Number 6, what's the biggest river in China? Number 7, what is the national flower of Switzerland? What's the national flower of Switzerland? I'm just realising I must have forgot I was doing the snake round, and I haven't. The last one doesn't work. It didn't work in. It doesn't connect with the snake. So forget about the last one being the snake. Just a general knowledge question. Lulu had a big hit when she was 19. If you forget the first word, the snake will work in. If you forget the first word of the answer, the snake will work in, if you know what I mean. But Lulu had a big hit when she was 19. With which theme song from a 1967 film? Lulu had a big hit when she was 19. With which theme song from a 1967 film? Okay. There you are. I'm going to go over some of them. You might have to go back on some of them. But forget about the last one, forget about the snake, because I must have forgot. I was doing that. Okay, here's the answers. Who was Henry VIII's first wife? Catherine of Aragon. She was, so that's an N, okay? So the next one begins with N. She was associated with King Charles II, and Samuel Pepys praised her as one of the finest actresses of the English stage. Nell Gwynn. So the second one begins with N too. What's the name? The third one? What's the term in French, another name for a nickname or a pen name? Nom de plume. So next one's E. What was the name of the big American company about the fraud and the lost 74 billion to all the shareholders? Enron. E-N-R-O-N. Next one begins with N. The BBC banned 2 of Enid Blyton's books. One was a Famous 5, and the other set of books was Naughty. N-O-D-D-Y. Next one begins with Y. What's the biggest river in China? The Yangtze. What's the national flower of Switzerland? Edelweiss. And Lulu had a big hit when she was 19. Which theme song from a 1967 film? To Sir with Love. Okay, last round. Who had a hit with Rainy Days and Mondays? Who had a hit with Rainy Days and Mondays? Number 2. Whose 3 biggest hits in the 70s were Dancing on a Saturday Night, got the number 2, Do You Wanna Dance, got the number 7, and School Love, got the number 11. So who was that? Number 3, which Broadway musical was the first to include nudity on stage? Which Broadway musical was the first to include nudity on stage? Which 60s number 1 had backing vocals that went Ooga Chanka, Ooga Chanka? Or Ooga Chaga. Ooga Chaga, Ooga Chaga. So which song was that? 60s number 1. Which, number 5, which type of creature is a corncrake? Which type of creature is a corncrake? Number 6, in which city are the headquarters of Samsung? Which city are the headquarters of Samsung? What, number 7, what word can go after brandy and before dragon? What word can go after brandy and before dragon? And the last one in this round is how many records are the castaways allowed on desert island discs? How many records are the castaways allowed on desert island discs? Right. Pause that if you want to go back on some of them. Here's the answers. Let me know how you've done now. Who had a hit with Rainy Days and Mondays? The Carpenters. Whose 3 biggest hits in the 70s were Dancing on a Saturday Night, Do You Wanna Dance and School Love? Barry Blue. Which Broadway musical was the first to include nudity on stage? Her. Which 60s number 1 had backing vocals that went ooga chaga, ooga chaga? It was Running Bear, Billy Preston's Running Bear. What type of creature is a corncrake? A bird. I thought it was Hooked on a Feeling, the other one, but it was close. It sounded close to that, but it wasn't. In which city are the headquarters of Samsung? Seoul. What word can go after brandy and before dragon? Snap. Brandy, snap, snapdragon. Number 8, how many records are the castaways allowed on desert island discs? They're allowed 8. Okay, I'll get them scores up. And did I give the scores, didn't I? Billy Couple of Pops with 27, Stevie Rita Nick's 26, Dawn and John, Josie and Bill had 24, Jerry had a 21, Carlin and Brian 20. Okay, see you all next weekend. Have a good weekend.